What's going on? It's another week and I'm back with more fidget crap. Today we got more stuff from Rayge3D and Peanut V1 is making an appearance again for comparison's sake. I debated doing these in separate videos, but it's all relevant, so these are just going to be in one. The new stuff we got is the Chroma and the Peanut V2, and better yet, it's the D's Nuts version. Look at that. This is before he had the crunchy one, so it's not labeled, but now these D's Nuts ones have either, right here it says crunchy, and I think he calls the silent one creamy. Anyways, right off the bat, these are all really good, but let's talk about them. People who have been watching me or talking to me for a while already know that I make things stick really, really badly even. So if you see stuff stick like this, yours is not going to be like this. This is way more sluggish than most people's will get, I'm willing to bet, because I make everything stick. When I am able to keep using a 3D printed slider without tape, I call that a win. A lot of them force me to tape it. Heck, even a metal plate slider, I had to tape it. This is the carbon fiber ox. I had to tape both sides of this, and yes, there's friction with tape on tape, but it's less friction than only having one of these plates taped. And I'll explain why I tape like this later. It has its advantages and disadvantages. Anyways, I want to start off by talking about the Chroma. Off the bat, this thing is just so underrated and slept on. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so good. This shape is so funky and satisfying. It feels so good to hold and to use. And I don't get it. I don't get why people sleep on this one. I really don't. And this one is super silent because this also has ABS plates like the new Peanut V2 does. And as you can see, I did have to tape this one. It's unfortunate, but it does work really well now that I taped it. It is a little louder because of how I tape stuff, but it does function really well. If I can get used to it again. That's one thing, is the magnets do get weakened when you tape stuff, so you have to adjust. But the Peanut V1 somehow is still working just fine without tape. And by just fine, I mean it's sticky, but I noticed today is a particularly good day for my sliders. They're not sticking as much as normal. See, because like usually I can't go up and down. Oh, I got it there though. If I go from the bottom, I can do it, but usually even that's pretty difficult. So yeah, the stick kind of fluctuates with me in 3D printed stuff, but most of the time it does get to the point where it's just like, okay, I can't even move it reasonably. It doesn't work well, so I just put tape on it. Luckily, I don't have to tape this thing because with this design, there's no way I'd be able to do it well. I don't even know how that would work. So the first one I reviewed was the Peanut V1. Really good, basic, very cheap slider, and the function is phenomenal, especially considering the price. I keep dropping my stuff. I'm so sorry. But this thing is amazing. I still think everybody should have one. They're just so good. The shape is so good. The magnet strength is so good. And it's just dialed in. It feels dense, and it just works. I used to think that these edges were potential hot spots, but honestly, they're not even that bad. Some people still get irritated by it, probably, but I'm used to it now. That'll lead us into the Peanut V2. I've been talking to Ray about this thing since I got it because I see the vision, but initially I thought it needed some more refinement. So these edges on the outside, I don't know if I'll be able to properly show this on camera, but you see this edge right here. Let me see if this sticks out as bad. So I guess it does look like it sticks out the same, but these edges on here, at least at first, felt way sharper. I don't know if I got used to them right now or if I like wore them down somehow, but that's one thing I noticed. And if I'm not mistaken, he did modify it a little bit now on those edges, so they should be a little smoother. But yeah, it was to the point where at first I even was like, okay, these are hot spots. I'm gonna let them know about that. But as you can hear, this thing is dead silent. And the only reason it will, there's a good snap. The only reason mine's making noise is because of how I tape things. So You see I have this weird circle of tape that leaves these edges off. I noticed that with this tape I use, you can see, yeah, it creates just the tiniest gap between the plates. So what is contacting the plate is slide tape, but it leaves a gap as well. So I noticed that it just ladders better when you tape like this. The only thing is that if you leave the corners too much, let me see if I can get this to do it really quick. There's a corner on here that gets caught, but otherwise I think this method of taping is really nice. The only other downside is that, like I said, it does make it a little louder because it can snap against the corners. It's not doing it now. It's doing it a little bit, but also it'll make that last click louder on this. But if you hold it right, it's still dead silent. Now the Chroma also has these ABS plates. That's why I felt it was relevant to show both of these at the same time, because this has ABS slide plates, so does the Chroma. My theory on why the Chroma isn't sticking as much is literally just because there is less plate. There's less plate, which means less surface contact, which means there's not as much to stick. And this is working really quite nicely today. A lot of the times, these are even stickier. I don't know why these are sliding so well today. My hands usually leave these in actual shambles, but this one has still remained usable. Like, I can usually still do this, but this will take a little more force usually. This today is like, I can just kind of gently push it to the side and it goes down. And same with these. Yeah, see, this will get stuck a little bit still. Like I said, 99% of people who use something like this aren't going to make it stick this bad. My sweaty hands and my skin oils are just a very special case. Now, as far as directly comparing the Peanut V1 and V2, I don't feel as strongly about it as I did at first. Overall, right now, I would say, putting everything into consideration, the V2 feels like more of a side grade than an upgrade overall. At first, I was a lot less happy with these. Well, not these, but with the V2, and I was like, honestly feeling that it was a downgrade. It's not a downgrade. It's definitely not a downgrade. This is an evolution. It's not like, it's not the V1, and it's not trying to be. So it can't be called a direct upgrade, because it's not taking the V1 and improving it. It's just its own thing. And with that in mind, I think the V2 is pretty good, especially now that he did make a crunchy version. People who like this soft crunch on the Peanut V1 can get that with the smoother plates on the V2. But if you need something, I'm talking dead silent. Again, it's making noise when I ladder because of this tape. I already explained that. Like, listen to that. I don't even have to grip it that hard to do this. Just give it a little cup on the sides and it's dead silent. Same with the Chroma, honestly. This one's a little harder to keep silent, but not by much. And I do like how these magnets, they're not weak, but they're not the strongest. Let me get a feature in here that's coming in a later video, the haptic EDC gemstone. These magnets are freaking strong, but this is also silent. It's harder to keep silent on the up and down. You really have to cup it because the strong magnets. But my point is, for silence, stuff like this, I enjoy using more because I can do less force, which means I don't have to, squeeze it so hard from the sides to get it to be quiet. I can just give it a little cup and it's good. And by the way, I love these colors on this one. The camera isn't doing this justice. This is a pretty bright yellow in person. But yeah, man, Ray has been making some moves. I love this stuff. If he drops more Chromas, just go buy one. I don't know how much these cost, but I can guarantee you it's worth whatever he's charging because he can't be charging too much, especially for people who know they can use 3D printed stuff and it doesn't stick like it does for me. This is a banger. The shape might look weird, but I don't know. Just the second I tried it, I'm just like, this is such a unique, satisfying feeling shape. It clicked with me instantly. Now, I know it's not going to click with everybody instantly. I know Kyle from Fidget Focused, he didn't like his at first, but he spent some time with it, and he loves it now, which is good because this thing needs more recognition. If you take anything away from this video, buy a Chroma, to be honest. Like, buy a Chroma, buy a Peanut V1, because this is so cheap. I still recommend this to everyone. It's really good. And if you like the Peanut shape and want something that slides smoother, like it literally, how do I explain this? This slides, other sliders slide, this glides. And with this slide tape on it, it feels very, very close to how it did out of the box, which is something that I usually can't say because tape usually modifies the feel a lot. And it did for this, but it feels a lot closer to how it did out of the box in terms of the straight up, you know, up and down. So yeah, dude, Ray is making some great freaking stuff. He has the Stratas on his shop right now. I think it's the premium Strata with some kind of weight in it. And then he also has the Lil Strata, which is also whisper quiet. I saw Kyle look at those. He made the Venom with Cladis recently. But yeah, man, go show Ray some love. He's making some sick stuff. And yeah, just with the Peanut V2, keep in mind it's its own thing. Another thing I'll say is the V1 is so dense feeling, and I don't understand why. This feels lighter and less dense. I think Ray has slept on. Go try some of his stuff. These Chromas need to pop off because they're really good. I've had these for weeks. I went on that trip, you know, and the package with these two was waiting for me when I got back, and I didn't know I was getting the Chroma. He said he threw something else in there as a surprise, and yeah, I've been using this thing ever since. Even when it sticks up, I can still do this basic stuff. And this softer magnet strength with this shape, it meshes so well, and the sound you can get out of this is really nice. Here, let me, so you can get it to be pretty loud. I'm pretty sure I could do Around the Worlds on it when it was new, but yeah, I can't anymore, but that's to be expected. Let me know what your favorite 3D printed sliders are, what your favorite 3D printed maker is. Heck, let me know what you've been using lately. I want to talk about fidgets in the comments, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm done rambling. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Now, hold on just a second. I forgot to take weights. So, Peanut V1, 24 grams. Let's see if I was right about this being lighter, the V2. 20 grams. Yep, so it's lighter. I can feel that. And then the Chroma's probably going to be either equal or the same. Yeah, 19 grams. And then for reference, let's get a few other things. SOB Slim with aluminum cages, 32. We got a haptic EDC gemstone, also at 32. And then another goat, the Otter EDC wrapped light hybrid setup, 39. It said 40 last time. We'll call it 40 grams. So yeah, there's some weights for context. Buy Rayge3D stuff, and I'll actually see you guys next week this time.